Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today I've got a 4 versus 4 on Kezzian Dunes. Playing on the south side as the Orks, we've got Martin, we've got Stranger as the Space Marines, we've got Psycode as the Necrons, and we've got Minigamer as the Tyranids. On the northern team, we've got Tiger Shark, TVONT, and Grid Panther as the Imperial Guard, and we have got me as the Orks. So one important thing you'll notice about this map is the deployment of all the teams. We've got this kind of zigzag-esque kind of pattern for both the northern side and the southern side, which does mean that the the two players on the front ends will be taking the majority of the brunt for the early game. Thankfully, we've got Imperial Guard on our front line, so a nice defensive faction. But then again, for the southern team, they have got their Necrons on the backside, allowing them to calmly tech up with no threat of being harassed all that much. Does some spine gauntlets for the Tyranids moving forward. Quite a expansive unit, able to get 16 in their number with a free blue money reinforcement cost. So quite a cost-effective unit should you wish to cap things and occupy a kind of land. But not too much going on. We've got a couple of horses manoeuvring around, and we do have a plan. We were all put in our own little team chats for this game, so no spying was going on. We was able to make our own little private strategies, and mind you, we do have quite a strategy in plan here. Whether it works or not, we shall see. But a mass of horses, that's the plan. We're doing the ride for Rohirrim. Ride now, ride for wrath, ride for ruin, and the world's ending. Shields shall be shattered. Spears shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day. Ere the sun rises. Look at that, glorious. Just charging in, ready to destroy anything and everything, going straight away for those plasma generators. Now, hear me out. It sounds like a good idea, and it definitely looks lovely, chasing after these tactical marines. You'll have noticed that we didn't really do all that much damage to the plasma generator, or indeed this stronghold. We find out, much to our chagrin, that the Imperial Guardsmen Riders do very little damage against buildings. So, there we go. That's what happened. But anyway, we've got these Orks, well, my Orks, shall I say, going up against these spine gaunts. Just look at the sheer amount that there is on the battlefield at the moment. Got some sluggers in the middle just trying to keep a hold while the shooter boys provide some firing cover. And the Space Marines just under constant harassment. These scouts are also going to get the badness. The Imperial Guardsmen Riders, wonderful for killing infantry, but when it comes to actual base harassment, lacking a little bit. We also have some of Tiger Shark's horses going up against Martin's Orks down on the southern side. Killing them relatively okay. Orks do have quite the fast reinforcement rate there. Got some Raveners now teleporting into the battle on the northern side. Imperial conscripts as well, forming some sort of front line, but just more meat to the grinder, some would say. And this is looking like an untenable hold. The Orks on the northern side. We are trying to capture that relic, but our slugger boys are falling down. Shooter boys also been engaged, soon to be in close combat. It's not a happy situation for anyone over there. We've done all the damage we can to the Space Marine base over here. Now the horses are doing a secondary charge down on the southern side. Seems that the war banners take a little bit more damage. I don't know whether they've got like a different kind of like armor type, but they seem to be getting killed a little bit easier than Space Marine structure. I imagine it's because of the Orks. You know, I mean, what are they held together with? Nails and duct tape, maybe? Yeah, the craftsmanship of an Ork is not necessarily the same as the Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah, Raveners, they've overextended. They've been taken out, but they did manage to push us all the way back to our hometown base. And now the relic is up for grabs for the Tyranids, and just a sheer amount. What is that? That's 12. Blooming hell, 28. 34. 34, 50. 50 in total. There we go. Quick maths. Look at that. But we are seeing them separate a little bit, not all being charged at the same time. This does leave the slugger boys and the shooter boys some time to mash through whatever they can before the rest join in. There we go. Some stragglers moving in. It does look like that they're able to eat things. So we can see this little plus number at the bottom here, which increases the health of each individual model. If I am not mistaken, we've got spine gaunts. Like I say, been taking out one squad at a time, but a cheeky lictor coming out of nowhere. One Ork dead. Not the most tankiest of lads. Probably should have came in a little bit earlier. Taken care of, no problem whatsoever. Been spun around, thrown to the ground, and that is that. But yeah, our Rohirrim charge has not exactly done much of a dint. In fact, the sheer amount of dead horses here probably shown the... But did this even die? No, I don't think it did it? Well done us. But you know what? We tried. And that's the main thing. You know, sometimes the meme builds work, sometimes they don't. But it was thematic, gosh darn it. And that's all we can ask for in these dark, trying times. We're asking quite a sizable amount of Orks on the northern side, and the Tyranids are looking a little bit worse for wear. We've got a couple of Ripper Swarms that are ready to build up these bioplasma turrets. Got a couple of Termagants as well. But the Orks are looking for a feast of their own. Got lots of Imperial Guard conscripts and guardsmen moving down on the southern side here. A Chimera assault tank, Cronus pattern, ready to blister its way through the shooter boys. How are the Necrons doing? Oh, the Necrons are in tier 2. They're fine. They've got their amplification generators. They've got plasma generators. They're just happy to be casually building up their economies. A bit of a Mexican standoff. Not going to push too far, too fast. We've learned from our mistakes earlier on. We're just picking up what we can where we can. Listing post over here. Relic for Martin and his Ork boys will soon be taken care of. And I do believe there's only 2 relics? Question mark? Yep, there's a relic on the south side and a relic on the north side. Can't see one in the middle. So these relics are quite important to take care of. So us northern boys, we've managed to consolidate our hold on 2 relics. Oh no, right, okay, so there's 2 relics in the centre, and then there's 1 down here as well. I imagine there's also 1 over here. Yep. So only the Necrons for the southern team have got that relic. The Necrons really do benefit from having that relic, as they've got lots of wonderful monolith-esque things to bring to bear. Termagants now moving forward to meet the Orks in battle. Bioplasma turret. Wonderful AoE damage. Quite accurate too for what it is. Don't think it does any friendly AoE damage. Got some more Termagants coming out from the Gaunt Hive. But really quickly being absolutely tossed asunder. The green tide moving over the Tyranids, giving them a taste of their own medicine, really. Do have a Broodhide over here, so potential for something bigger and more devastating. We'll need to get them out quick, sharpish. Got a serious amount of Spine Gaunts in production at the moment. But as we saw before, in small numbers, they don't have that much of an effect. We'll need... I mean, maybe if they fall back and reinvest their numbers, but look how quickly they're able to be absolutely annihilated from the battlefield here. So mini-gamer over here having real difficulty. Going to focus on the Spore Chimneys. Go for that Econ, as the buildings in this game are quite resilient to small arms fire, as we saw with the horses. Down on the south side, we have got some issues. We've got a Chimera assault tank being stunned by the big mech, and some tank busters now moving in. Wonderful bit of unit synergy there. Also got some tactical marines from Stranger, also armed with machine launchers? Missile launchers. So both Chimeras have been taken down. Rhino transport ferrying these guys around as quickly as possible. We do have a wonderful heavy weapons team planked on top of the ridge here. A significant amount of Sentinel Scout Walkers coming in. We'll need to upgrade their weapons at some point, but the las cannon and plasma cannon, or the big stuff that we really want, is locked into tier 2. Or in Ultimate Apocalypse terms, tier 3, because that's how they do things. They can't do numbers. That's not what they do, baby. Last of the riders taking out that big mech, or at least trying to, but sadly not. The sheer amount of rocket launchers. Rockets versus horses, the rockets usually win. Space Marines have now come over to see if they can support their Tyranid ally. Sadly, I'm lacking in the tank buster department. But am I building them now? Doesn't look like it. Oh no, I'm not even close to reaching tier 2, mate. Just too focused on whatever. Now we've got a Necron Lord coming in, throwing down a Cena beam, scare away those Sentinels. In fact, sorry, not even a Necron Lord. This is a Crypt Tech. Bringing in the pain. Won't win the engagement, but will at least distract us long enough to potentially save his Tyranid ally. Got some commandos from Martin. Sneaking around. Using the Elephant of Surprise to gain the advantage on their foes. That's a lot of missile launchers over there, but it does seem like the heavy weapons team will be able to sustain themselves. Infinite amounts of Imperial Guardsmen, conscripts, and special weapons, as well as more horses. Never stop the production of the horses. They've got to get their revenge, but running over that minefield certainly won't do them any favours. Losing most of their number in that. Their charge breaking against the Rhino transport. But these guardsmen, they've got a serious amount of plasma guns, so they'll be doing a lot of damage against these plasma generators as well as the heavy infantry of the Space Marines. Over on this side, we are more or less cleaning up as best we can the Tyranid base. It will take a bit of a long time. You also believe that are we taking small amounts of damage? We're glowing green over something, not sure what. But that's fine. Also got one dude here waving a flag. Proud guardsman, in fact double banners furling. Victoriously in the wind. Cryptek just kind of manoeuvring around, seeing what he can do. Offering whatever assistance he can to his allies. And it's in the bag, baby. What more could they possibly do? Got a heavy weapons team equipped with an auto cannon, providing some additional fire. But this, I mean, look at these strongholds. One Tech Marine repairing this makes it practically invincible. So got to take the Tech Marine before we take the structures. Sentinel Scout Walkers coming over here, seeing what they can do. But against rocket launchers and tactical Marines, they're not going to do all that well. But I do quite like how they move around in a flock. Or a herd. Hellfire Dreadnought being repaired by the Bill of Scours, but not nearly as efficient as the Tech Marine. John Cena Beam comes down, scaring away these boys and girls. They will fall back. They've done a significant amount of econ damage towards the... Well, when I say significant, they killed a couple of plasma generators and a couple of lads, but not quite getting this tier 3 listing post. Over here, we're still trying. Annihilation barge coming in, just floating around. This dude packs a lot of punch. Might be specifically good against Titan superstructures and vehicles, but I mean, it has an AoE kind of damage towards regular infantry, so not bad whatsoever. Cryptek also going to come in, and we have finally got some tank busters coming in. But is it too little, too late? Also got some boomy bits coming in from that Cryptek there. Annihilation barge now, not barrage, barge. That's what it's called. It's taking a fair bit of damage, but Cryptek going to tie up those tank busters. Also, just one squad alone probably won't do the damage required. Got a second squad coming in. But he's not giving up on this squad. He's going to chase them down for as long as he can. Could have really done with a big mech and a big zapper, but was that included in my build order? Absolutely no. Why? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But the Annihilation barge tries to escape, but one lonely rocket manages to finally take him out. Tank Buster's going to run all the way home. They are not giving up. They've seen their death, they've met their mortality, and they are just running for the hills all day long. A second Annihilation barge coming in. We still do have some Tank Busters somewhere, hiding amongst the bushes. Not quite got the infiltration yet. Some Spinegots now coming out of the Hive Spire to cause us some issues. We should be alright to restart that assault. The Imperial Guard also regaining their numbers. Scout Sentinel Walkers now equipping themselves from missile launchers. 4 missile launchers in total. I'm just going to run straight in. Never minding the buzzcocks and getting straight towards those minefields. Taking them out lickety-split. But Tactical Marines armed with double heavy bolters. Lethal. Absolutely lethal against these Imperial Guardsmen. And more minefields. Wonderful placement here. Just killing and annihilating Imperial Guardsmen left, right and centre. Annihilation barge just kind of drifts into view. Very spectacular entrance. Like I say, if the AoE kind of damage against infantry, it's happy to just sit here and shoot guardsmen all day long. Scout Sentinels trying to get into position, but a very wonderfully placed tactical solar pulse forces these guys to move around a bit. And the servitors around the back are also going to repair that Annihilation barge as they take out one Sentinel Scout at a time. Over here now, the Orks with the wonderful accuracy rate. Most of their rockets are hitting for once. Spinegots are now regaining their numbers before moving forward. We've only got really one squad of Slugger Boys, one Shooter Boys, and a couple of Tank Busters. The Spinegots might be able to get their stuff done. We've still got the 83%, well, the 83 plus health, as it doesn't matter which squad eats, all the squads benefit from the health bonus from there on in. I do believe that is also featured in Vanilla, if I am not mistaken. Double whirlwinds, amazing AoE damage against mass infantry that TVONT has brought to bear. So might need to transition away from mass infantry and start focusing on vehicular combat. Speaking of vehicular combat, we've got double war tracks coming in, and Tiger Shark is feeling the pain of a infiltrated big mech. We are going to scan it and see it. What can we do against it? That's the real question. Haven't done an econ check. I'll do a really quick econ check. 94 and 39, 137, 146, 20% and 223, and 48 and 10 versus 76 and 0, 105 and 60, 97 and 79, and 113 and 39. We'll watch it from the Space Marines perspective for a bit. Yeah, so both teams have got one player each that's suffering in the economy department. We've got Tiger Shark struggling a bit. We've certainly got Minigamer struggling, but he's been holding on. Even if it's just because of the sheer defensive nature, well, the armor type of his buildings, and my severe lack in teching up. Hey, it works, baby. It's the same difference in the grand scheme of things. And this Annihilation barge just absolutely wrecking face here. Being helped by the Cryptech to keep these tank busters occupied. He's got free reign to kill anyone and everyone that he fancies. Also, Psychode is now bringing out some Sentinel Scout Walkers. Tactical Marines coming in. And the Tyranids can breathe a sigh of relief as the Orks are utterly and completely wiped out. And the minefields are being rebuilt down here. Tiger Shark trying to rebuild his economy over on this side. Lots of heavy weapons teams anticipating some counter-offensive. Tides looking like they're a bit shifty. Lictor doing a bit of scouting, seeing the Sentinels. On his own won't do much, as we've seen before. Great killing commanders, but against anything else, he's kind of a bit wet round the ears, to be honest. Whirlwinds now adding their fire to the Grid Panthers, well, power grid, shall we say. Tactical Marines taking some bolter fire to the face from this listing post. But that's fine, they've got health for days. But yeah, they're almost out regenning the damage coming in all honesty. Just quite bonkers. With the artillery support, they'll be fine. Got a Destroyer Lord over here trying to destroy some things. Double tank busters there. Opening fire. Will be zapped and stasis fielded. Making them more or less immune to damage, but then forcing them to stay still. Which is not what you want. And you can just imagine from my perspective. So I thought to myself, hey, I'm really behind on tech. What I should do is build up loads of war banners and then just also this mech lab and do that. But I've got a Gretchen squad over here. Can't bother to bring them all the way over here to build stuff. I will build stuff over here. And I regret it, because now look at this. Just all the war banners. Soon to be, potentially, wiped out. I've got one Scout Sentinel Walker being taken over by the force of the Necron tier. Very naughty. And more guardsmen from TV coming down. Plasma guns are flaring. But they've got nothing much in the way of anti-vehicle weaponry. They have a Lehman Russ battle tank. But all these minefields, should I say, causing some significant damage. In fact, actually bringing that Lehman Russ down by a good quarter of its health. The addition of the Stern Veterans with their twin-linked las cannons, melting the Lehman Russ battle tank's armour. No dramas whatsoever. Morale also being shattered over on this side. Orks and the Annihilation barge, which it's been the cherry on top of the assault cake for the southern team, really. featured in every breakthrough on the front lines. We do have Imperial Guard squad over here with a anti-tank support model. Whether he's able to bring down an entire barge, we will have to see. Got some gargoyles. Oh, we've never seen gargoyles before, I don't think, on the channel. Hello, gargoyles. How are you doing? Look at these little dudes. Intimidating. Blocking out the sun from the sky for the sheer amount of numbers. Second barge over here. Just casually firing around. No real people to stop it. Times are getting a little bit tough. We do have some guardsmen inside the field commands and the infantry commands. Really doing a number on these orcs, to be honest. So the Annihilation barge is going to turn its attention to these undefended guardsmen over here and just zippity-doo-dad. They're all dead. But no, one survives. Oh no, never mind. He's dead. Well, that was sad. There's a potential for them to survive, but nope. Not everyone is the main character in these stories, and the Imperial Guard certainly know what that feels like. Gargoyles looking menacingly at this mech lab. Slowly but surely whittling its health down. As the Tyranids and Space Marines turn their attention to other places. But now circumventing the front lines, we've got this one Rhino transport now deciding to look for TV's home base, but then turning his attention over to this side. Tiger Shark. Annihilation barge taking out that infantry command. As many as they can. The Imperial Guard are jumping inside the field command just to keep safe, just to hold out for a hero. I mean, we've got some numbers. We've got some Imperial Guard over here. These guys have been given space to build up their Lehman Russ battle tanks. I'm trying. I've got some Storm Boys. Don't know what the plan is, but it's something. So it's saving Private Tiger Shark at the moment. Can we get to him? He's one boy in a field command. Tech Priest Engines here, keeping it alive. God, this is the beginning of some sort of Black Library novel. Also going to try and build another infantry command, just for good measure. These guys are going to turn their attention to the less defended and less prepared Guardsman TV. Going to get into battle position. This is a lot of las cannon fire there. They've also popped some mines in front as well. The Lehman Russ is now trundling down in a column over on this side. But one by one, that's probably not the way that they want to enter the battlefield. They'd probably prefer to come in en masse. But at least with some sort of melee squad to maybe tie up these guys. If only somebody built a bunch of melee squads, Mr. Landshark, to then bring them down over here to assist in their comrades. But sadly, no one had that idea. You know, the other week when I was commenting on someone else who made bad team decisions that cost their team the game? Well, I'm also that kind of person as well. None of us are perfect, are we? We're all just trying our best. But look at this, a significant amount of heavy weapons teams, las cannons over here. But won't do all that much against the Tactical Marines. And to be honest, this composition hasn't lended itself amazingly to vehicles apart from the artillery on the backside. Commandos focusing fire on the field command. All the infantry, more or less, apart from these stragglers over here, have been taken out. Death Dreads waddling forward. An angry Mr. Krabs doing what they can. Tiger Shark not giving up. He's holding on till the very end. Could move a little bit forward to rustle the jimmies of these whirlwinds. Got some flying gargoyles. Just doing something. Firing away at these Imperial Guardsmen. They've lost their morale. And a big orc ball of badness. Lots of tank busters going to take out that field command. What are you firing at? For a second I thought there was a bit of heresy going on. Thought they were turning it against themselves here. But never mind. There we go. Storm Boys on the way. Thank you. God bless. Also got some war trucks as well. Whether it's too little too late, we shall see. Got a Necron Lord now coming out. Glowing with baleful green energies. Now, if there ever was a time to turn the tide back, Now's going to have to be the time. Stormboy is now going to jump straight in. But being absolutely annihilated. Got a second squad coming in. There we go. Melee has been joined. The sheer amount, I mean, just look at that. There's like 8 twin-link las cannons. Infantry or vehicle or not, if you get hit in the chest with a las cannon, you are absolutely knackered. It's not going to be a happy day for anyone. Also have, what's going on over here? We have got some Tyranid warriors causing Grid Panthers some issues. Double basilisks. Looks like they've been stunned somehow, but they were providing some artillery fire throughout all that. Also got a Necron disco going on over here as we see TV deciding no more, no mass. Can't do it. Can't do it, Chief. What's firing at you? Oh, you are a Doomsday monolith. Yep. That's certainly going to stop any kind of infantry from coming out from Grid Panther's base. But he has got the triple basilisks looking to cause some issues for these massed infantry units, but I mean 16,000 health just on 6 veteran guards alone. Now those odds are unassailable. So there we go. That's if you haven't guessed it yet, the Southern team do indeed win this game. So I'd like to say thank you to all the boys for taking part in this game. And also apologies for me falling asleep in 2 separate occasions of the evening. You'll never guess, but at the age of 31, staying up later than normal, it's quite hard. So I tried. But it was really fun to take part in the UA event the other weekend. It was nice and lovely. Anyway, if you like the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 extra game a week. And there is also a Discord, where Discord things happen. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never chore. And I'll see you in a bit. Peace.